Alright guys, sorry if I'm squinting a little bit. I'm doing this midday. Honestly, I just needed a little bit more Jesus today. And by a little, I probably mean a lot. But I found myself just wanting to come to the Bible and spend some time here. And that means spend some time with you guys. So we're back in Numbers chapter 10, where the header reads, "The silver trumpets." And we'll get right into it. Now the Lord said to Moses, "Make 2 trumpets of hammered silver for calling the community to assemble and for signaling the breaking of camp. When both trumpets are blown, everyone must gather before you at the entrance of the tabernacle. But if only one trumpet is blown, then only the leaders, the heads of the clans of Israel, must present themselves to you. When you sound the signal to move on, the tribes camped on the east side of the tabernacle must break camp and move forward. When you sound the signal a second time, the tribes camped on the south will follow. You must sound short blasts as the signal for moving on. But when you call the people to an assembly, blow the trumpets with a different signal. Only the priests, Aaron's descendants, are allowed to blow the trumpets. This is a permanent law for you, to be observed from generation to generation. When you arrive in your own land and go to war against your enemies who attack you, sound the alarm with the trumpets. Then the Lord your God will remember you and rescue you from your enemies. Blow the trumpets in times of gladness, too, sounding them at your annual festivals and at the beginning of each month, and blow the trumpets over your burnt offerings and peace offerings. The trumpets will remind your God of his covenant with you. I am the Lord your God." Now this breaks off into another sectioned off piece. It's split this chapter in half because it mentions the first approach to the promised land. This takes part halfway through chapter 10, which we're currently reading, and it goes on through chapter 14. And so the header for this half part section in chapter 10 reads, "The people complain. The Israelites leave Sinai." In the second year after Israel's departure from Egypt, on the 12th day of the second month, the cloud lifted from the tabernacle of the covenant. So the Israelites set out from the wilderness of Sinai and traveled on from place to place until the cloud stopped in the wilderness of Paran. When the people set out for the first time, following the instructions the Lord had given through Moses, Judah's troops led the way. They marched behind their banner, and their leader was Nahshon, son of Amminadab. They were joined by the troops of the tribe of Issachar, led by Nethanel, son of Zuar, and the troops of the tribe of Zebulun, led by Eliab, son of Helon. Then the tabernacle was taken down, and the Gershonite and Merarite divisions of the Levites were next in the line of march, carrying the tabernacle with them. Reuben's troops went next, marching behind their banner. Their leader was Eleazar, son of Sheduar. They were joined by the troops of the tribe of Simeon, led by Shelumiel, son of Zurishaddai, and the troops of the tribe of Gad, led by Eliasaph, son of Duel. Next came the Kohathite division of the Levites, carrying the sacred objects from the tabernacle. Before they arrived at the next camp, the tabernacle would already be set up at this new location. Ephraim's troops went next, marching behind their banner. Their leader was Elishama, son of Ammihud. They were joined by the troops of the tribe of Manasseh, led by Gamaliel, son of Pedazur, and the troops of the tribe of Benjamin, led by Abidan, son of Gideoni. Dan's troops went last, marching behind their banner and serving as the rear guard for all the tribal camps. Their leader was Ahizir, son of Ammishaddai. They were joined by the troops of the tribe of Asher, led by Pagiel, son of Okran, and the troops of the tribe of Naphtali, led by Ahira, son of Enan. This was the order in which the Israelites marched, division by division. One day Moses said to his brother-in-law, Hobab, son of Reuel the Midianite, "We are on our way to the place the Lord promised us, for he said, 'I will give it to you.' Come with us, and we will treat you well, for the Lord has promised wonderful blessings for Israel." But Hobab replied, "No, I will not go. I must return to my own land and family." "Please don't leave us," Moses pleaded. "You know the places in the wilderness where we should camp. Come, be our guide. If you do, we'll share with you all the blessings the Lord gives us." They marched for 3 days after, leaving the mountain of the Lord, with the ark of the Lord's covenant, moving ahead of them to show them where to stop and rest. As they moved on each day, the cloud of the Lord hovered over them, and whenever the ark set out, Moses would shout, "Arise, O Lord, and let your enemies be scattered. Let them flee before you." And when the ark was set down, he would say, "Return, O Lord, to the countless thousands of Israel." It's really interesting to me that the sounding of the horns mean the gathering of Israel's people, and the difference between the gathering of Israel's people and the gathering of Israel's leadership. So they both have two different signals using the same instruments. I absolutely love, and I don't know if that's a strong connection, but when Christ returns, and that, that's to be a day of, for some, gnashing of teeth, and for some, just celebration. He's going to use those same symbols to gather Israel again. That's exactly what it is. Say all the people, say, hey, all the people that have waited for their blessings, and they, stayed true to God's calling, and said he's going to welcome them home. He's going to blow those trumpets again. And it says that later on in the Bible. And for it to be so connected, so many thousands of years apart, I just love that. That means a lot to me. I'm currently struggling with just the process of fighting selfishness with selflessness. And it's so difficult because selfishness, there's no end to it. You can't pacify that need. And it's difficult when you want to try and pacify somebody else's selfishness with your own selflessness, which is why you need God. I can't be someone that changes hearts or that does these things. I'm only a mover, and I can only act on what God tells me to do, and with the best discernment possible. And I mess that up all the time. But when I do that in service to others, it's super interesting. Whether it be my family or it be a professional call, whatever it might be, it's so interesting that in recognizing my own helplessness, that desire for me to call on him even more. So I don't like that feeling, but I know that he uses that feeling to remind me of how much I need him. And I think in the past I used to fight more against it, and I'd be lying if I said that I didn't fight against it. Sometimes I look to escape situations that create that, and I think that he's refining me to no longer run from those situations, to stand my ground and do exactly what he needs me to do for the sake of others, which is a very humbling calling, especially when it's uncomfortable and it doesn't feel good. I got a feeling these next couple of years, really the rest of my life, but these next couple of years are going to be very telling for what God calls me to do. Some people might recognize that as a midlife crisis. I'm getting a little bit older. I'm almost 40. But for me, it's got nothing to do with age and everything to do with just where God has me. And part of me is a little unsure, a little uneasy of that, simply because I like to be in the know. But I prefer to be in God's hands more than I prefer to be in the know. So I'm just going to keep trusting in him and seeing where he leads me, knowing that I need help with some things financially. I need some help with some things faith-based. I need some help with some things with my family. And I look forward to him providing all that and more. Even more than I can imagine. Even more than I would even ask for. And so I look forward to continuing to share that with you guys. On that note, have a good night. God bless. I love you. Jesus loves you. And I'll be back tomorrow with chapter 11 of Numbers, where the header reads, "The people complained to Moses." Ooh, I'm going to enjoy that one. So have a good night. God bless, guys. And I'll see you tomorrow for chapter 11 of Numbers. See ya.